Welcome to Feminine Founder, where we talk all things recruiting, hiring, business, and entrepreneurship. Today, I have Priscilla Gravenhorst with me. Priscilla is a marketing executive with a long history working in corporate America for big companies such as Ketchum, McCann, and Tiffany and Co. In the past year in September, she decided to go out on her own and currently acts as the chief of staff for chief marketing officers with her company, PG Consulting Services. So welcome, Priscilla.
Thank you so much for having me, Carolyn. Hi, everyone.
I'd love to hear your story of your career and then how you've worked your way up into the C-suite marketing space and then pivoting to being an entrepreneur yourself now.
My background is in advertising, working for McCann, large companies like McCann, Havas, Ketchum, and Tiffany and Company. Working for large I started out in production and I worked my way as an executive project management running large portfolios for clients like Microsoft, Exxon, Verizon, Honeywell, Samsung for many years. And currently I'm a chief of staff to CMOs.
So what prompted you to decide to go out on your own?
Well, back in the early summer, I was laid off with a huge layoff at Ketchum, and it was a perfect time for me to do a reset. I've been in the industry for quite some time, and most people, are out of advertising in their mid-40s. In their 50s. And it was time for me to leave the industry. I was really burnt out. I did a lot of self-development, career development. And I was thinking, okay, so, where can I have the most impact and give back to the marketing world? And with all of my project management operation background, I thought, okay, well, helping chief marketing officers. Also looking at the landscape right now where chief marketing officers, their tenure is like 3 years and they really need some help and going through these difficult times. I thought my niche would be a chief of staff to a CMO, really adding a great capacity to their mission and their role.
So what are the benefits of having a CMO, having a chief of staff?
Multiple ways. I mean, right now, CMOs are just drowning with the demands of what's coming at them and very little time to do focus on the long-term goals. So, in numerous ways, the chief of staff ensure their vision becomes a reality by collaborating with cross-functional teams and also shaping the future. Chief of staffs act as a right hand in evaluating, the business performance and planning for the future. They're also advisors, and they provide objective counsel, bringing concerns and ideas back without compromising any confidentiality. Timing, communications, keeping the CMO on track. Also, they help with presenting a clear financial story about the business, and they help with the finances. So they're orchestrating people, and they're keeping the CMO on track, not just for the short term, but for the long-term objectives, and making sure that the initiatives and the campaigns are laddering up to the rhythm of the business.
A chief of staff is the right-hand go-to person for a CMO. Is that right?
Oh, they're the secret weapon. The chief of staff is an enabler, for the CMO and really helping with their mission and elevating. The role broadens awareness for the whole organization, and they also, behind the scenes, enable rapid decision making walking through, the cross-functional teams as well as the C-suite and prioritizing communications to keep the CMO on track.
What's the biggest struggle that most CMOs face?
Well, right now, just everything is going so incredibly fast, and it's hard for them to keep up. A year or two ago, CMOs weren't responsible for tech or the culture of the organization. And so there's multiple things. One, I would say, navigating the market's uncertainty. There's just, embracing the economic turbulence that we've just seen last year and, political events, of course, the ever-changing digital landscape. Also, juggling the data, effectively collecting and analyzing and utilizing the different data that they're getting, a struggle and a continuous battle, bridging the gaps between data and the, actionable insights and streamlining analytics. Also, CMOs are struggling with budget constraints. Every departments are being cut, doing more for less. So, the tightening of economic climate and marketing budgets are definitely a pain point for CMOs. And the big one, obviously, is embracing the AI and, how that's going to fit into the marketing, department responsibly and how it will be used. I think this year is all about experimenting and figuring it out and not being afraid, being open and curious of what it can do, and then being responsible with how CMOs are going to be using AI. I mean, AI definitely will be a huge component in efficiencies, but when it going to compliance and the responsibility socially and safety for the brands and employees is definitely a huge focus.
Post recently that really sparked my attention. You mentioned as we're going into 2024, CMOs will face a unique set of challenges, largely revolving around three key areas: adaptation, measurement, and trust. Can you unpack those three things a little further for me?
Well, adaptation, I guess the problem would be, the economic volatility that's throwing the budgets into flux. Customer preferences are evolving rapidly. New competitors are popping up constantly. It's really, requiring agility and strategic pivoting to remain relevant. A CMO, a chief of impact, what's happening with the CMOs is that they're, getting bogged down in managing the budgets and the research, and it leaves very little time for developing and implementing adaptive strategies. For measurement, the problem is demonstrating the value of the marketing across the touch points, like awareness and considerations and purchase, especially data privacy and regulations. I think also, building an effective measurement framework and analyzing data, marketing's value remains really unclear, leading potential budget cuts. So that's definitely a challenge. And as far as trust, navigating information landscape and misinformation and the ethical concerns about data and privacy and personalization and careful brand management and social responsibility. A lot of, I think that post came from, just responding to a lot of the challenges, time constraints AI are bringing to the landscape.
So why is it crucial that leadership and marketing be on the same page when it comes to strategy?
I guess this goes back to, what I was saying in the beginning. Chief of staff, or what I do in particular, is breaking down silos within the C-suite and the senior leadership teams. And quite often, the strategies and goals can differ between the C-suite. And then there's the breakdowns. And a chief of staff will make sure that those strategies are all aligning and they roll up to the big bet, right? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have to be doing our reporting to our stakeholders and our advisory boards. And historically, there's been a lot of breakdown between marketing and like the CEO and really not being on the same page and different agendas. Really, my goal is to help the CMO, stay in the driver's seat, especially this coming year, and be, the impactful leader that they are and that they should be. And really, this year, an opportunity to make some, impactful, purposeful change.
So as we wrap up, how can our listeners find you?
On LinkedIn. Just find me, Priscilla Gravenhorst, and connect, DM me, say hello, set up a coffee.
Thanks, Priscilla.
Thank you.